Hi. 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 Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know. Hi. Hi. Hey guys, so here I'm out here doing different projects. There's always something going on, but I have some rust remover here, and these chains right here goes to my grow lights into the greenhouse, and they have started rusting. So what I'm going to do is spray this on here, let it sit here for a little bit, and I have some spray paint here. It's all in one, paint and primer. And this is just some spray paint that I have around here, and I'm going to spray paint them black so that they won't rust anymore, so that next season into the spring, should I say, that they will be looking nice. Because if not, by next spring they're going to be looking pretty cruddy, because into the greenhouse is always humidity. There's you know, with the humidity outside, and there's more humidity into the greenhouse. So what I do, I use this a lot around on the homestead. Let me show you what the can or the container looks like. So this is clean strip. It's concrete and metal prep. Now somebody told me about this, about cleaning a toilet out. You know, if you have well water, if you can live into an area like I do, there's a lot of rust all the time because it being well water. And just into the area here, it's always been that way. And so I got this to try into the toilet, because you know, into a toilet it can get really rusty down there. If it gets on, stays on there too long, or gets on there thick, then it's hard to get off. Well, this works good on into the bathtub. It's just that you got to watch the metal, because this does remove rust, it preps metal, and it etches concrete for a good adhesive. So this is my second gallon here that I have bought here onto the homestead, because you know, there's so much around here that at times things do rust like this. And while I'm sitting here talking, the rust is starting to come off. I don't have to do anything. I just spray it on there, let it sit there, and I like to spray it onto the concrete, because then it's, you know, it's not soaking into the concrete, but it's sitting there into a puddle to go ahead and strip this rust off of these chains. This works really good on certain things around here, especially like this, something like this that I want to go ahead and preserve, because this rust is really already off. But I'm going to give it a second coating. And so it's sitting there into a puddle of this concrete and metal prep here, and then I'm going to let it sit there and just instantly take that rust off. And then what I do is let it dry. I don't even rinse it off, I just let it dry, and then I'm going to spray paint it, and then I'm going to be ready to put it up for storage. This is something I usually don't do, but decided to do because this rag was sitting into the shed. And we can look at this and tell that the rust is just about completely off. But to speed the process up with just a little bit more, I'm just going to take this rag and wipe it down. And then I like to look at and see if I want to put another spray on there, another coating of that. Looks good because it takes the rust off. But with this right here, with this concrete prep and rust remover, you want to go ahead and spray paint it by 24 hours. Since this is a chain, then doing it like this, I believe would be better, because it can kind of get into the grooves. And we're done with that. That looks really good. Other chain, we can see on here that the rust was really starting to eat through the metal here. And that's why I want to go ahead and strip it of the rust and then spray it down. So I try to get it over here out of the way of the wind. As much as possible. And then we're just going to let it sit there until it drying. It won't take very long for it to dry. And then we're going to flip it over and spray the other side. So we're going to flip these chains over. We're going to look to see if we got it on the right side as we flip it over. And then we're going to spray it again. Super easy trick to use on any small project. Any project. I use this. I do this a lot on a lot of different things, like doorknobs, cabinets. You know, those I take them off. They're rusted. I'll maybe sand them down, depends on how they look. Basically, I'll spray that stuff on them and to see if they need to be sprayed down. About out of paint here. It might be the angle I'm in. It feels like it's got enough in here. And I save lots of money, especially like doorknobs or cabinet knobs. Small things like that you got in your home and you don't want to spend the money onto it, but you want to refinish it. Maybe it's a rental, and you know how rentals can be, so you know you want to make it look fresh and new. And this is a very cheap trick here. So once again, we'll let it sit there, then we'll take a look at it. So here's our chains, already ready for storage, rust free and ready for the next adventure into the greenhouse. So that concrete prep rust remover is an awesome tool onto your homestead. I mean, I'm telling you, I use it for a lot of things. Your tools get all rusted up. I know I got plenty of tools that are rusted up, and one day I want to take and spray it on there. But you always also got to make sure, now with tools I would just oil them back down and get some of that rust off of there. But whatever you spray this on, you want to make sure, like, not tools, possibility, I mean you could, but make sure that you spray paint it or paint it within 24 hours so that that rust won't come back. And that's it. See you on to the next video.